Yo, we have reached a Genshin Impact roadblock. I realize it now is official. It has happened. We have reached a roadblock in my Genshin Impact journey. And that roadblock stems from the voice actors, the English voice actors. And I'm having issues, continuing on with the game because of it. So now you might be like, well, dude, Spike, just change it over to the Japanese voice acting or Chinese voice acting or Korean voice or whatever. Change it off of English. And I hear you, but it's a bit more complicated than that because I mean it's been a while, and I'll explain why. You might be like, well, it's been a while, dude. Your character's level 60. For those of you who are unaware, I've been playing since pretty much release. I just don't level my characters past 60 to make the game more difficult. Sounds crazy, I know, but I enjoy the enhanced difficulty. Nonetheless, let's dive into what exactly is the issue here with the wall, the roadblock that we have reached. It's like a titanium steel wall. It's like Wolverine standing there guarding it. And he's like, "Oh, you're not coming in here." And I'm like, honestly, dude, I don't really want to come in there. But first, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out tremendously. Thank you very much. So, as many of y'all, of course, remember, there was a whole dilemma with Paimon and a handful of other voice actors as well, revolving around the SAG after strike and how completely ridiculous that strike was, and how the union was just trying to force feed and all that stuff and manipulate everything into Hoyoverse, like being locked into this whole thingy thing. And it was just a hot mess. And then everyone was bullying Kenichi's new voice actor. They were all bullying him, Paimon, and as well as a multitude of other characters like Iching and stuff like that. There was a handful of just malpractice and just toxic. It was crazy to see this from these voice actors, but it was like, wow, like, this is really problematic. And of course, Paimon was the ringleader there. Paimon was going off the walls, and it just pure craziness. And quite frankly, that whole ordeal and how they were treating everyone and how they tried to manipulate things, they wouldn't take accountability. It was just a complete messed up poop show of a situation that was completely crazy. And what did it do? It really put a stain on Genshin Impact, on the English voiceover of the game. And quite frankly, that will always remain as long as those voice actors are there. Naturally, people just think, okay, well, people will just forget. Just, hey, stop talking about it, and, everything will be fine. Now, realistically speaking, this is, of course, going to be okay. And this probably is going to be the what happens because the game is available worldwide. And there's so many different languages. And a lot of people who are English native speakers probably play the game in Japanese anyway. So this probably will work. However, for us people who play the game in English, I believe that this is an everlasting impact. Those of us who know the situation, this is an everlasting impact of something that's pretty disgusting to happen. And quite frankly, it's hard for me to realistically support the game. And matter of fact, I don't support the game anymore. I will no longer monetarily support this game as long as those voice actors are there. That is final. I let my Woken expire weeks ago. I guess more than a month ago at this point. Let that thing expire. That was the last straw there. So I will never be supporting this game as long as those voice actors are there monetarily. And that's perfectly okay with me. I cannot bring myself to do so because I do not approve of that behavior, and that's just disgusting to me. But nonetheless, that whole roadblock has been generated there, and I'm trying to get excited. Like, I am excited because I just dropped Skirk. Skirk is looking really exciting to have. Of course, we've been looking forward to Skirk, and then of course, we have we have her. I'm gonna pull her, but we have her, and then we have all these. We're around the hills of Snezhnaya. We have a new chapter coming up with Dainsleif, and we're definitely excited for that. And I want to play the game. I want to advance the game, but I mean, as y'all can see here, I still haven't really done anything here. It's 43%. I haven't done this current story that we're on right here because I've been hesitant to do it due to the fact that the English voiceover is not there. So it's like, okay, I will have to change to Japanese. But I've been playing the game since the end of 2020 slash start of 2021 in English. So, and I also stream the game. I stream it, when I do these stories and stuff like that, I stream the game. Maybe if I didn't stream it, maybe it wouldn't be as bad. But I do stream the game, and it's always enjoyable reacting to these things live, and it can be enjoyable seeing the reactions of the English voice actors, and it allows me to not just have to like constantly be reading it all the time. While I can understand Japanese to a degree, it's not like to a heavy level where I can just like willy nilly just be like, oh, la, 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 doing everything to the side and multitasking and like reading and talking at the same time while I'm listening and catching everything. So that's not an option. So I would have to be, deliberately reading everything that's going on there, which is obviously not something I really want to be doing. And it's just created a whole smorgasbord of feelings for me because I don't know how I should approach the situation. I don't know how it's going to look like moving forward. And if they haven't removed those voice actors yet, then I doubt that they ever probably will. Because you would think that would have been done a long time ago. Maybe they're within a certain contract. Maybe it expires at some point. I don't really know the logistics entirely behind the contract workings between each individual of those voice actors and their abilities or inabilities to exit those contracts. I don't really know the specifics behind those. I understand the specifics behind everything else. Yeah, I made a video on that with with the SAG after and all that stuff. So I understand all that stuff. I know all that stuff. Like I've researched all that stuff thoroughly. So I understand that, but I don't know the specifics between the contracts and of course getting a new voice actor. I understand getting a new voice actor for Paimon will require you to record your pretty much your entire game to re-record it. So I mean I can understand the resistance or the hesitancy on doing that from Hoyoverse. But it's just, it leaves a stain on the game. And it's funny too because the same thing happened to me whenever Jade came out. Well, this was different, obviously different types of things. But this happened to me when Jade came out for Star Rail, and I never recovered from that. I lost, I really lost all interest in Sorrow after that because of Jade's trailer, how they marketed her. Now, if you don't remember Jade's trailer was the one where it was like she's like this dummy mommy, and she has like a whole bunch of men around here, and she has them all chained up. She pulls one down by the neck and like steps on them, and they're begging that. It's like this real. It's like, bro, this game is literally 12 plus, and you're having this whole downgrade, degrade men type whole deal going on there. Like, bro, if it was for no reason, it was so unnecessary. The character was going to sell regardless, and you marketed her in this manner. And so I never actually really recovered from that from Starro, and as a result, I'm super behind on the story in Starro. And whenever I do, I really do not care about the story at all. Whenever I do try to catch up a little bit, maybe like there's a weekly boss I can't access, so I do the story. I'm not paying attention at all to the story whatsoever. Do not care for it because I lost full commitment and full interest in that game because of that. And pretty much Genshin Impact has kind of done the same thing here with how they have treated uh, this whole voice acting situation with the English voice cast. Now, like I said, obviously, this isn't really going to be a huge issue because there's different languages. People play this game in different languages, so there's a very large global market for it. So I don't know how really necessary it is for them to go out their way and change these voice actors, but I feel like I'm probably not the only person who shares this sentiment about the whole situation, who knows about the situation, who understands what the situation was, and they play the game in English because you really can't look at the game the same. Like if you know that whole situation and what Paimon and these other voice actors were doing to and how they were ganging up on these people online and calling them names and attacking them and wishing the worst for them and all these types of just dirty stuff. It's if you were to see if you knew if you saw it, if you've seen it, I mean you could look it all up. It's been well documented. So if you see it though, then you understand. It's like, dude, how can you support this? You can't. So every time I see Paimon pop on the screen and start talking in English, I'm just like, ugh, I don't really want to play. Like I see it now. I see her spazzing out, attacking everyone, and going crazy about everything. And it's just like, I don't. It's like it leaves a sour taste in my mouth to a point where I just don't want to play the game anymore. And as a result, that's why you see I haven't really been playing the game. It's like I get on, I kind of do my dailies and stuff, but I mean, on top of the fact that the last few banners have been complete garbage in terms of what's her name, the the electric girl, Varessa, and Miyuki or Mizuki, whichever one. Like those spans of those updates are just It's horrible. But nonetheless, we're not talking about that. Just in general, this voice actor thing has happened, and it has really put a damper and created a roadblock for me. So I'm not too sure. It's really sapped away the enjoyability of the game for me. So I figure put this out here in the open because I'm sure there's other people who do feel the same way, and I'm curious to know how y'all feel about the situation. Maybe some of y'all who were playing English, I'm sure a lot of y'all moved over to Japanese or something of the sort. Of course, it's gonna be people who are just like, well, should have just been playing Japanese from the first place. Okay, well, I wasn't, and there's hundreds of thousands of people who weren't either. So there's no reason to say that. So, oh, you should have just had, you should have just had 4 arms when you were born, so you could carry 10 cups at a time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I know, but you get what I'm saying. Like this is, yeah, you just could have you just should have been born a millionaire, and you wouldn't have to wear sandals that break apart or something like, bro. Well, I wasn't born a millionaire, so so but nonetheless, y'all, let me know down in the comments what you think about this whole situation, and how it's impacting you, especially if you play the game in English. How it's impacting you and how you're kind of viewing the game now. But at any rate, oh, like I said, by the way, in case you're wondering, yes, I play all my characters level 60. I do that just to make the game more difficult. For those who are wondering, literally all of them. Anything that's past level 60 is from natural world experience points, like killing hill trolls over the years, stuff like that. Because I stop at the 60th ascension. So it makes the game more difficult. I know I also just saw I have arrested down there. That was unfortunate. I wasn't trying to pull her. I was doing a temple to get Ensign, and she ended up coming home, like 0 pity. I did not want her, which is why I have not leveled her, and she will not be used, even though she's strong. But anyway, let me know down in the comments below what y'all think about the whole situation with the voice actors, and if you've been playing English. If you switch over to Japanese, of course, we know the Japanese voice acting cast is pretty phenomenal. Of course, I know they have like Naruto and Sasuke, so I know the cast over there is pretty phenomenal. But that's neither here nor there. I'm really just like curious about what how this impacted y'all, and what y'all kind of think about the matter. If y'all did switch over, how you're enjoying it. If you missed the English voice acting, if you did switch over, or so and so and so. Let me know down in the comments. I will see you on the next one. Be sure to like, subscribe. Much love. Holla.
Spike content.